Have you ever seen a Formula One team copy another team's design? Well, that's exactly what people think Red Bull just did. And that's why the entire F1 paddock is talking about this new rear wing, because Red Bull normally builds the ideas that other teams copy. But now, it looks like Ferrari may have discovered something so clever that even Red Bull wants it. So what is this new wing? Why is it surprising engineers, and could it change the championship fight? Let's break it down in a simple way. Formula One cars are basically airplanes upside down. Instead of trying to fly upward, they push downward into the track. That downward force is called downforce. And one of the biggest parts creating that downforce is the rear wing. But here's the problem. Teams want two completely opposite things at the same time. High downforce in corners, low drag on straights. More downforce helps cornering, but more drag slows the car down on straights. So every F1 engineer is trying to find the perfect balance. And Ferrari may have found a very clever trick. Ferrari introduced a rear wing design that looked different from most teams. At first glance, it didn't seem revolutionary, but engineers noticed something important. The top section of the wing was shaped and rotated differently. This created a bigger opening between the wing elements. That tiny change affects airflow in a huge way. Instead of air getting stuck behind the wing and creating drag, the airflow moves more cleanly. That means less resistance, better straight line speed, while still keeping enough downforce for corners. In simple words, Ferrari found a way to make the car faster on straights without losing too much grip. And in modern F1, that's gold. Now here's where things get interesting. Red Bull is usually the team everyone copies. For years, Adrian Newey and the Red Bull engineers created some of the smartest aerodynamic ideas in Formula One. Other teams spent years trying to catch them. But now people noticed Red Bull bringing a wing concept that looks very similar to Ferrari's idea. That surprised a lot of engineers. Because teams usually don't copy rivals unless the idea actually works, the data looks impressive, or they believe they're missing performance. And remember, Red Bull doesn't change designs just for fun. Every tiny adjustment is tested in simulations, wind tunnels, and on-track data. So if Red Bull is moving toward Ferrari's concept, it probably means Ferrari discovered something important. Let's imagine pushing your hand through water. If your hand is flat, the water pushes hard against it. That's drag. Now imagine turning your hand slightly, so water flows around it more smoothly. That creates less resistance. That's basically what these wings are trying to do with air. The new shape helps airflow detach more cleanly behind the wing. This reduces turbulence. Less turbulence means better efficiency, higher top speed, and sometimes even better tire management. That can make a huge difference during qualifying laps, overtaking, and defending on long straights. Even gaining just 2 or 3 tenths in Formula One is massive. Of course, whenever teams create clever aerodynamic tricks, people start asking one thing. Is it legal? Some fans think these wings may flex at high speed. A flexible wing can reduce drag on straights, almost acting like a mini DRS effect. The FIA has already been watching flexible wing designs very closely. Teams must pass strict load tests, but engineers are extremely smart. Sometimes a wing can pass static tests in the garage, but behave differently at 300 km/h on track. That's why cameras and slow-motion footage are now being studied carefully. And if one team finds a legal grey area, other teams immediately try to copy it. That's Formula One. This could become one of the biggest technical battles of the season. If Ferrari truly found a more efficient rear wing concept, then Red Bull adapting it could make them even stronger. And that's scary for the rest of the grid, because Red Bull already has strong race pace, great tire management, and one of the fastest overall packages. Adding Ferrari's aero idea into the mix could help them dominate even more on high-speed tracks. But Ferrari fans might also see this differently. Some will say, wait, Ferrari actually invented something the champions wanted to copy. And honestly, that alone shows how competitive Formula One engineering has become. So the surprising part isn't just the wing itself, it's WHO appears to be copying WHO. Ferrari may have discovered a clever aerodynamic solution, and Red Bull seems interested enough to follow it. Now the big question is, will this become the next major F1 trend? Or will the FIA step in before teams push it too far? Let me know what you think. Is this genius engineering, or just another Formula One grey area trick? And if you enjoyed this simple F1 breakdown, subscribe for more motorsport explanations made easy. See you in the next lap.